So, Jackson, why should we celebrate veterans?
Because they are important and they fight for our freedom. And a lot of the people that, I guess, a lot of the people that have fought for our freedom don't feel appreciated. And after they get back from serving, they want to feel appreciated and welcome.
Why should we celebrate veterans?
We should celebrate veterans because of how selfless they are, and um, they give of their time and really basically give everything, put everything in their lives on hold so that they can protect us and fight for our freedoms and all of the things that allow us to live the lives that we get to live every day.
Mrs. Goodman, why should we celebrate veterans?
We should celebrate veterans because they have sacrificed so much by serving our country, and we need to show them the respect. We should celebrate Veterans Day every day, but celebrating it every year on November 11th is very important.
So, Mrs. Robinson, why should we celebrate veterans?
I feel that we should celebrate veterans because at one time they were willing to write a blank check of their lives for the freedom and the liberties that we have today. That's why we also believe in my family and doing other things like supporting the community, supporting our veterans, and going out to vote because not everybody in every country gets to do so.
So, Ms. Combs, why should we celebrate veterans?
Why should we celebrate veterans? Veterans are the reason that we have our freedoms today. The sacrifices that they made for years and years and years, even today, so that we can walk freely on the streets and we can celebrate the religion that we want to celebrate and we can vote. All of those freedoms the veterans have fought for. And I think that it is imperative that we celebrate them, not just on Veterans Day, but every single day.
So, Mrs. Boyer, why should we celebrate veterans?
I believe we should celebrate veterans because so many of them gave their lives for us to be able to do the things that we do on a daily basis.
So, Simon, why should we celebrate veterans?
I think we should celebrate Veterans Day because they did a lot for our country. I know that they sacrificed a lot. Some people lose their hearing, lose limbs, and it's all just to keep this country a free country, and so then we can have this great nation that it is.
So, why should we celebrate veterans?
Veterans are very important to us and our country. They have sacrificed their entire lives. They are taken away from their family to help us and to have us enjoy our country as we should because we are a great nation. We celebrate Veterans Day on Wednesday, November the 11th this year, so we should hold them up high in our hearts.
So, Mrs. Ryden, why should we celebrate veterans?
Well, Veterans Day and the military is very near and dear to my heart. I have had several family members serve our great country through the military. I think we should celebrate veterans because they've given a lot. They've sacrificed a lot for our country and for the freedoms that we enjoy. And so I think sometimes we take for granted what all liberties we have here in the United States. So by recognizing veterans, that allows us to just say thank you. Thank you for the lifestyle that we're able to live.
I think Veterans Day is very important for us to not only honor our past, present, and future veterans and soldiers, but also as education for the rest of us who may not quite understand what it is that they provide and what they do. It's just a moment to reflect and educate ourselves on how important they are to us and our country.
I think that we should celebrate Veterans Day simply because there are so many people who have fought for our freedoms, and we wouldn't have what we have today if we didn't have the veterans, and we need to pay them total respect. I've had family members who have been in the services, and I'm very thankful that they decided to make that part of their lives, and it doesn't just stop whenever they get out of the military. And I just think that they deserve all of our respect for each and every thing that they did for us and continue to do for us, and they fought for our freedom. So I just think that it's excellent to celebrate each and every day our veterans, not just on one single day.
So why should we celebrate veterans?
The veterans are the backbone of this country. They have given a lot to protect our freedoms, and so I think we should celebrate them every day, not just Veterans Day.
Why should we celebrate Veterans Day?
I think we should celebrate Veterans Day because they're the reason why we get to do the things we do every day. They're the reason why our country is free, and I think that's extra special, and it's something that should be remembered not just on Veterans Day, but every day.
So, Mr. Beechler, why should we celebrate veterans?
Why should we celebrate veterans? Whoa, that's a big question. Number one, current veterans, the sacrifices they're making right now. You've seen those videos where, they come home and they surprise their families because they've been gone away so long. So we have men, women that are sacrificing time with their family to protect us and help other countries. So that'd be one reason. Two, veterans who are out of the service. A lot of those veterans we need to celebrate and try to look into how we help them, because a lot of our homeless are veterans, and I cannot believe that is happening. And just getting information, because I think a lot of us don't realize how much veterans do. We just think of them being in the service, and we don't, because we can't see them, we don't think about them. So we need to take a day to really know what our veterans do for us and have done for us for hundreds of years.
So, Mrs. Bryson, why should we celebrate veterans?
We should celebrate veterans because without veterans, we wouldn't have the freedoms and the wonderful country that we live in with all just the safety that we feel. And they have done so much for us. They've sacrificed for us, and they have fought for our rights in our country. And I just really appreciate them. So we should celebrate veterans.
So, Mrs. Martin, why should we celebrate veterans?
We should celebrate veterans every day besides Veterans Day because of their sacrifices that they make for their country and as well as for their families. When they are serving overseas, their families are here, and the sacrifices that they make are great, and we should be very, very thankful for the veterans and what they do for our freedoms in the United States.
So, Mrs. Mayo, why should we celebrate veterans?
We should celebrate Veterans Day because the veterans have sacrificed so much, their time and their family, and just given so much to us that we owe it to them to say thank you.
So, Mr. Weber, why should we celebrate veterans?
Well, I think it's a part of the whole idea that veterans in years past, whether it be World War I, World War II, Revolutionary War, Civil War, Korean War, Vietnam War, they've given a part of their lives to help protect not only the U.S. people, but our people living in the United States, but also other countries as well. I think it's important that we acknowledge that, and through Veterans Day, we can do that.
Camden, why should we celebrate veterans?
Well, veterans have done a lot to sacrifice themselves, do whatever they can to make us safe and keep us safe from things that we don't even know about. They do things all the time that we can't imagine doing.
So, Officer Tyndall, why should we celebrate veterans?
I think it's really cool that you asked that. I think that there are many reasons to celebrate veterans. First and foremost is their sacrifice to us to provide us with our freedoms, that we all have the luxuries to do the things that we want in our country. We live in a great country, but I think that we need to realize that that greatness has come through sacrifice, and our veterans are one of the largest groups of people that sacrifice regularly for us. When you think about everybody this election, there's a lot of diversity right now, and there's a lot of division right now between everyone. But when you just think and reflect on our past, we wouldn't have the option to even have this option to vote for who we wanted to vote for or do what we wanted to do without the sacrifices of our veterans. We wouldn't even be to this point to have those freedoms. So I think it's really important that we recognize that, and that we're thankful for it, and that we continue to understand that we may not all agree, but we wouldn't even have the right to disagree if it weren't for sacrifices from people like that. It's kind of how I feel about it.
So, Mrs. Beechler, why should we celebrate veterans?
I think we should celebrate veterans because of the sacrifice that they have made. A big sacrifice is the time away from their families. When veterans are serving, they are spending a lot of time away from wives and children and parents and brothers and sisters, and that time away is precious, and I think we should appreciate the time that they sacrificed for us.
We celebrate veterans because they're some of the most selfless people in our country. They are people who, in the prime of their lives, decide to give that time up in their late teens, early 20s, and some their entire lives, serving our country to protect our freedoms, to protect our safety, and just protect people around the world who are in trouble. And so I'm very thankful and grateful for their sacrifice and their service, and some of them, some of them even give their lives, and their families sacrifice so much because their loved ones are overseas. And so just really appreciate them and their sacrifice and their selflessness, and they definitely are worth honoring, not just on November 11th, but any day that we can throughout the year.